What's up, friends? This is Jazz, bringing you what I got for my 31st birthday. I know this is really late, but things kind of went on. Now, I'm going to let you know that this video is going to be a little different than my last year's anyway. It's going to be, a lot of it's going to be clips that I've already recorded, which is another reason this video is late. I wanted to make sure everything got in a way. But before I do go on to these clips, I will bring up a little thing that I could talk about when it comes to my birthday. Two things, two videos in a way that I did were kind of for my birthday, which were bargain hauls 13 and 14. Everything that I got in those hauls, which were the 6 comics, the 4 or so books, the DVD set, the DVDs, all of them, and you'll see pictures. I might include them all around there. I got them. They were part of my birthday present. The Value Village trip was, but I did them in the bargain haul videos, so you don't really have to see them all over again. So let's get on with the rest of the stuff I got for my birthday. Hey guys, unboxing some of the things I got for my birthday. This is going to be included once I actually do my birthday video. So I think I am going to start with some of the hardest things to open. Yeah, leave it to Jazz, right? And here there are 3 particular things. They're fidgets, they're poppets. In a way, there's a kind of a space one here. And then there is a game controller and another game controller. I've been really liking poppets a lot more lately. I actually opened one for you guys, so this one's a little bit harder to do, but again, which is kind of good. But what you do is you push them in, and then you keep. As I said, it's like the other poppets in a way that you push them down, and then you push them on the other side. But these are harder, to get down and keep them. Maybe once I use them a bit, they won't be as bad. Yeah, at least that'll keep me busy. And it pops itself back up. And it takes all that just to get it open. They're good. I got 3 for $8 here, so just in case I have trouble with my other one, which I love, by the way, so don't get the wrong idea. I got these off about $8 or $9 for 3. It was a 3-pack. As I said, I got the red, and then I got the blue controller, and I got the little spaceship there. I believe it's like a space shooter, but rainbow. I really do like this one. I just gotta get used to using the harder to pop in. So I also got Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. Nothing beats Halloween. It's Drew Brockman's favorite holiday, and this year will be awesome. Much better than last year, or the year Lee and Tabby played that joke, a nasty practical joke, on Drew and her best friend Walker. Yes, this year Drew and Walker have a plan for revenge. It involves 2 scary pumpkin heads, but something's gone wrong, way wrong, because the pumpkin heads are a little too scary, a little too real, with strange hissing voices and flames shooting out of their faces. I remember this episode of it. I was picking, like, this is from my aunt and uncle, this book, and so far in the Poppets are from my aunt and uncle, so I gotta thank that for them. I was picking one Goosebump book at the time. I chose this one, and I got one more book in there from them, and it is Roald Dahl's Matilda. I don't know why, but I gotta say this is one of my favorite Roald Dahl books. I love the movie. Well, it's my favorite movie in the series, and I heard the book is better in a way. It has a lot more to it. In a sense of the word, Matilda gives kids a love of reading in a way, and it's a bigger book, you know, for a Roald Dahl book, so I'm looking forward to reading it. You know, maybe I'll move it up in my book reading list, because I am really looking forward to reading that. Now I got this, and again the Poppets from my aunt. And I got one more thing to unbox, which is from my other aunt. I still got some things coming from my other aunt, so you'll see it later in the video. And it is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Finally, this is the third, I believe, in the series there. It has this kind of thing which I don't really care much for, but oh well. As long as I can read it is what matters. But now I got the complete Chronicles of Narnia experience, all 6 books, or 7 books. So, and I didn't even start reading them yet, but I know, like, I have enough a feeling I'll like this, because I really like the series of unfortunate events, and it's not as dark, well, somewhat dark. It's not as dark as in some ways, but it has a similar vibe to it, so I figured that I really would like that. So far, I'm really pleased with the things I got. Well, here's one of the next things I'm unboxing that I got for my birthday. And it is the book Watership Down. I don't know whether it was a mistake that I got this, but I heard that it is a good book. But it's a long book. It's like 442 pages, so it's something I'm going to be working towards reading. But I did hear it was a good book. So, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Like, they adapted this into a children's film, which should not have been for children. I'm just letting you know that. So maybe if I take my time reading this won't be as bad. I don't know if this will be one of the books that I do and then take a break, you know, how I'm doing with the Harry Potter, or not. Maybe I might read the first few pages if I think of reading it, and then decide when I'm going to read it and how I'm going to read it. But I wanted to try something different. Like, I'm really trying to get into reading more, and if there's a book that really piques my interest and I can get it cheap enough, then I consider getting it to try. Because if I can find books that I like to read, I'll learn, like, what I can read and what I can't. And if I just stuck with Goosebumps and children's books like that, as much as I love Goosebumps, I'm not having any flack for Goosebumps, right? I love it. But I do need to learn to read more challenging books than just that. So I'm trying to find some older books that would have themes that I would be interested in, just to get me started. Again, I'm still always going to love Goosebump books. Right now, there's some of my in-between books, for I can have some easier books that I read to kind of cool down from reading a bunch of the harder books. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book eventually. Another thing I got for my 31st birthday came in the mail, And it is Tales to Give You Goosebumps. Special Edition 1. 10 spooky stories. Reader, beware, you're in for 10 scares. From an evil baby sister to a remote control that can control more than just the television set, to a teacher who's obsessed with snakes, to a cute, cuddly teddy bear gone bad, here are 10 creepy, spooky stories guaranteed to give you goosebumps all night long. Now, this is one of I already had one of the other ones in a way. This is kind of it's funny. This is an anthology in a way. Instead of one big story with like one or two main characters, this is 10 different stories. I read one of the newer ones. Like, I never owned the first edition until now. And some of my favorite stories are in this particular one, like Strained Peas, The House of No Return. The other one had an old story, so Strained Peas and the old story were some of my favorite episodes of the Goosebumps series. So I'm glad I actually owned the book version of them, and maybe I'm going to read this book earlier than some of the other books I had planned, because it's near Halloween, and why the heck not, right? I may read it before I go back to reading Harry Potter. But I'm just so excited to what do they call it, to dig into this book. Well, guys, here's the next thing that I got for my birthday. It is Animal Crossing Wild World. Now, guys, to be fair, I did open this sort of already. I'm just kind of unboxing it for you guys. I also did test it out, because I wanted to make sure it worked. And it's harder to test it out on camera, because one thing I noticed is that the little thing there is kind of up a little bit, so I have to be very, very careful with this, because it's harder to get into my DS and 3DS, so... But it does work well. It at least starts anyway. So, if it works, then that's what matters, as long as I can keep the cover on it for the most part. I got this for about, what, $12, $13? So, as I said, I'm getting into Animal Crossing quite a bit, and the GameCube was way too expensive to start with, and this is the right after the GameCube version. So also, you would have seen this, as I said, like this video after my video game collection series was out for the most part, at least the DS section. So this is officially added to my DS collection for those watching after you've seen this. So maybe this will be in the 2028, 29 game collection update, baby. Well, guys, I got 3 more things in the mail that I had purchased for my 31st birthday. The first thing I am going to show off, not the paper, but is the babysitter. And this is the first one. I remember getting the second one by mistake. So I figured I should get the first for I'll be able to read the second. And I figured it was a good time to, so... The Babysitter. I am looking forward to eventually reading this when I get the chance to. The next one here I got is Goosebumps, Go Eat Worms. Homework was never this gross before. Ugh, I agree. They're creepy and they're crawly, they're totally disgusting. Obsessed with worms, that's putting it mildly. Todd is so fascinated with worms he keeps a worm farm in his basement. Most of all, Todd loves torturing his sister and her best friend with worms, dropping them in their hair, down their backs, until one day, after cutting a worm in half, Todd notices something strange. The rest of the worms seem to be staring at him. Suddenly, worms start showing up in the worst places for Todd. In his bed, in his homework, even in his spaghetti. What's a worm lover to do when his own worms are starting to gross him out? Now this is number 21 in the series, so this means I'm going to be reading this very shortly. I'm already on book 20. Yeah, you're thinking, why the heck did I get this? Well, it is part of the Goosebumps series, and I do want to read them as much in order as I can. And I had that little extra money, so I decided to get this book. I'm sort of looking forward to reading it. Unlike The Babysitter, sort of not. I have never liked gross things. I'm definitely not going to be eating while reading this. That is for certain. Because then I got grossed out with the Haunted Masses worm scene. Could you picture this? And this is actually an episode, too. I mean, my gosh. And now, I'm going at the final thing here, which I got from the same person. Speaking of Haunted Mask, this is the Haunted Mask 2. New Face, Old Nightmare. This is the sequel to the Haunted Mask. I was debating whether to get this or the Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, as you've seen me unbox just earlier in this video. But since I got the extra money, I decided to get this and the Go Eat Worms. You know, because I was kind of wanting this book. Just call him Prune Face. That's kind of funny. Steve Boswell. One of the antagonists, well, sort of antagonists in the last one. We'll never forget Carly Beth's Halloween mask. It was so gross, so terrifying. But this year, Steve wants to have the scariest costume on the block. So he gets a mask from the same store where Carly Beth got hers. It looks like a creepy old man with stringy hair, a wrinkled face, and spiders crawling out of the ears. Steve's definitely got the scariest mask around. Too bad he's starting to feel so old and so tired and so evil. This is number 36 in the series. Now this, as I said, like Steve Boswell was the antagonist, part one of them, the reason Carly Beth wanted to get a mask to scare. This time he is the main character, and I believe there's two different ways this story goes. Like, between this and the TV episode. One is he wants to scare kids he's supposed to be tutoring in sports, and in the other he just wants to be scary, you know, to be scary in a way. So it's different in each one there. Okay, so this is I had to double check. This is the one where he wants to scare the first graders that he is trying to teach sports to, because he was forced to, I think, because he had some community service or something. He caused trouble, so he had to do that or something else. So he wants to scare the first graders. So this time he has, I don't know whether if I say he has a good reason to, because they're like first graders, right? But the other one is just, oh, he wants to be scary. Like, you could sort of see his flight and playing, you know, in the book version of it. And you get to know him a lot better than you did in the Haunted Mask. So, I'm looking forward to reading this eventually. As I said, this is book 36, so I'm far less close to reading this than I am to Go Eat Worms. So, but I'm excited. I'm getting closer and closer to completing the Goosebumps series. I'm going to have to put how many books I have now eventually in this. Well, guys, to answer your question, I have 46 of the original 62 Goosebump books. Now I believe I have, 16 left to collect. But I have a couple of things here, plus one final thing I got for my birthday so far as an unboxing. But I got these two books here earlier from my aunt, Janet. And they were the original Let's Get Invisible. This is the original cover. And I got, this is a little torn up, but I have Goosebumps Horrorlands Slappy New Year. Let you guys read it for yourself a little bit, this one around, because it's in a pretty good, and you guys can also just pause it too. So, as I said, now I've got 3 of the Goosebumps Horrorland books. I think there are a few of them there. Now here is my final thing I'm unboxing, and technically I did unbox it, but I'm just kind of showing you a little bit. It is Moral Oral Complete. Now this, guys, I'll admit, I'm pretty sure it is, you know, homemade, right? And it doesn't work well in an actual DVD player as it should for the price I paid. But it does work relatively well in my computer drive, and if not, I can watch it online. But it's good just to kind of somewhat own a physical representation of the things. I believe this is the complete series. The series wasn't even very long, like 3 seasons, so I think each disc has 1 season, I believe, plus the last one's bonus stuff. Commercials. Who doesn't love commercials? So, sometimes it's hard to, like, I'm trying to figure out how to play it on the DVD player. It's just a little confusing. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff here on the back that I cannot read for the life of me. So, it's good that, like, if we lost internet, I might be able to watch it occasionally, so it is pretty good to own. Well, I think I did really well for my birthday with everything that you saw that I got. Again, I feel really lucky to have the family that I do that knows me, right, and accepts me for the most part for who I am and what my interests are, because my interests are definitely not of that of the neurotypical 31-year-old female, for sure. So, anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this birthday haul, give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe and help this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.